We celebrate Pesach this week, but there's something so fascinating about matzah. Matzah has a multiple personality disorder. Why do we eat matzah? So if you recall, and as we will be doing very soon at the Seder, we hold up the piece of matzah and we say, Ha lachma anya diachalu avatana ba'ara de Mitzrayim. This is the bread of affliction that our forefathers ate in the land of Egypt. It's the bread of slavery, the bread of affliction. And then as you turn the pages of the Haggadah and you get towards the end before the meal, and you hold up the matzah, matzah zeh al shumma. Why do we eat this matzah? Because it's the bread of freedom. We remember that Hashem took us out. Velo yachol lehitmamea. We didn't even let the dough rise. We didn't let the dough become leaven. And therefore we eat the matzah as a symbol of our freedom. The way we left Egypt in a hurry, b'chipazon. We were ready to leave Egypt and trust in Hashem and go straight to the promised land. So what is matzah? Is matzah halachma anya, the bread of affliction? Or is matzah the bread of redemption and the bread of freedom? And that's why I call matzah the bread with a multiple personality disorder. What are we meant to learn from this? How are we meant to understand this? The answer is that the Haggadah, Hashem, is teaching us that in life, all the good that happens to us is coming from Hashem. The freedom we represent through the matzah, we appreciate and we thank Hashem for taking us out of the troubles that we find ourselves in. But the question we have to ask ourselves is, who put us in that situation in the first place? The answer, Hashem. Hashem put us in that situation to begin with. And even that we have to celebrate. Even that we have to thank Hashem for. And that's why we take that same piece of matzah. On the one hand, we hold it up and we say it is the bread of affliction, and on the other hand, we say it is the bread of freedom, because it's the same Hashem who gave us that test, who put us into that quandary, who put us into that test. But it is the same Hashem who will hopefully teach us a lesson and redeem us and reveal our ge'ulah, our redemption from our problems. A good friend of mine and Rebbe, Rabbi David Aaron of Israelite in the Old City, tells a story when he taught at a yeshiva at a kiruv organization. One guy refused to go to any lectures about Hashem. He said, I know Hashem exists. And Rabbi Aaron said to him, how do you know that Hashem exists? He says, well, I used to be a crazy motorcyclist, and I was going and I wasn't looking where I was going, and I headed off the edge of a cliff, and that was it. I was falling to my death, and I felt two giant hands catch me and lower me down to the ground ever so calmly. And I know there's Hashem. I don't need to go to any shiurim about Hashem. And Rabbi Aaron looked at this guy and said to him, you know why you need to go to the shiurim? Because you have to answer the question, who pushed you off the cliff in the first place? We've got to in life realize that everything that happens to us is happening for a reason. The trials and the tribulations, the matzah, the bread of affliction and the bread of redemption is all coming from Hashem to teach us and make us into better people. Chag Sameach.